Wade and Wade reacts.
We got another Kakarot197 request. Let's check this out.
Hey everyone, Kakarot197 again. This time with mass production units that became better known as ACE units, commander units, or however you want to label them. And in this first part, we'll be having a look at 5 machines from the 1-year war. First up, we have the Gyan. Mostly known as McCube's personal unit, this machine was actually created to work in tandem with the DOMs and the rig DOMs. The Gyan would engage the enemy in close combat while the DOMs provided long-range support. However, at around the same time, Xionic's Gelgoog was also completed. Given that it was a much more general-purpose machine with higher performance to boot, the decision was quickly made to mass-produce the Gelgoog rather than the Gyan.
It does look better, but I like that
the Gyan's focus on close combat
design, though. It looks like a medieval knight.
Beam weaponry was due to McCuve, who
Plus
was
it has
a
that
very
fencing,
big
fighting
fan
style
of
too.
fencing. This would make the Gyan's mass production yet another thing ruined by McCuve. For anyone interested in what could have happened if the Gyan had been mass-produced instead of the Gelgoog, I highly recommend the Girin's Greed games. In these, we get the Gyan equivalents of all of the Gelgoog variants, such as the Gyan High Mobility Type, the Gyan Cannon, the Gyan Marine, and so on.
I doubt it.
Next up, we have the Zeta. In Universal Century 0074, there was fierce competition going on between Zimot's Zeta and Xionic's Zaku to become Xion's first mass production unit. While the Zeta outclassed the Zaku in most aspects,
I'm glad the Zaku won.
Came with one deadly flaw. The Zeta's high-performance Jupiter engine was very prone to overheating and, as a result, blowing up. Because of this, Xion went with the Zaku line, and the Zeta prototypes were mothballed for 5 years. In late Universal Century 0079, with the war now turning against Xion, they dug up these prototypes, quickly overhauled 4 of them, and designated them as Xion's new secret weapon, with Xion ace Jean-Luc Deval becoming the figurehead of these machines. This plan failed, not just because the Federation quickly learned the truth behind the Zeta, but also because the brand new Saturn engine, that was also to be used in the rig dome, wasn't able to fix the Zeta's fatal flaw, resulting in the loss of one of the 4 overhauled Zetas during testing. Despite this, the 3 remaining Zetas and their pilots fought admirably, with 2 of them surviving the 1-year war. The Val's unit, unfortunately, also overheated. But the Zeta's legacy doesn't end there. After the 1-year war, the Zeta's reputation as a high-performance machine proved enough to continue upgrading to attempt to fix the engine problem. This was finally achieved in the form of the Zeta F, a combination of the Zeta with various parts of the Gyan, including stronger engine limiters. And this time around, they managed to do the job. Then, the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type, developed in order to modernize Xion's space fleet, it first saw the day of light as the Zaku 2 High Mobility Test Type. 2 units were constructed, and the units were given a positive appraisal by Xion ace pilot Elliot Rem. Development continued and resulted in the Zaku 2 High Mobility Test Type R1. Upgrades included extra thrusters and larger fuel capacity. 22 of these new test types were produced and handed out to various ace pilots such as Shin Matsunaga for evaluation. Again, some modifications were made, minor engine problems were resolved, and fuel tanks were replaced by fuel cartridges for faster reloading. This Zaku 2 High Mobility Type R1A was then meant to become the Xion Space Force's main mobile suit. Despite being incredibly popular with their pilots, production was cut short after only 56 units, with an additional 10 that were upgraded from the R1 test type. The high-performance, high-mobility type was simply too much to handle for new pilots. Combine this with high production costs, and production was quickly halted. While Xion's aces were trying their hardest to get their hands on one of these coveted machines, the high-mobility type's engineers weren't ready to throw in the towel just yet, and it continued development, resulting in the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type R2. While the R2 looks visually similar to its predecessors, the internals had been completely overhauled with various parts that would also be used in the Gelgoog. This resulted in arguably one of the most powerful non-beam weapon compatible machines. Its performance was even set to rival that of the Gelgoog. However, it still suffered from the same issues as the R1A: high production costs and difficult to pilot, causing Xeon to go with the
production
Rigdon
costs
as a stopgap machine
always
until the
gets them.
Gelgoog could enter full mass production. 4 R2s would be constructed, 3 of which were used in combat by some of Xeon's best aces: Johnny Ryden, Robert Gilliam, and Gabby Hazard. If you want to know more about them, I also did a video on Xeon's top 8 aces. Up next, we have something that is most definitely not a Zaku: the Goof. Made famous by one of Xeon's
pretty
most
good mobile
beloved
suit, too.
aces, the Goof was originally intended as a replacement for the aging Zaku 2 ground type. With the Federation now deploying its own mobile suits, deployment of a close combat unit seemed like a given for Xeon. Despite this, the Goof's production would soon be halted in favor of the high-speed Dom, which also proved to be much more cost-effective than the Goof. After this, the Goof would be mainly requested by ace pilots who preferred the nimble Goof over the heavy, yet quick Dom. In fact, it proved so popular that an upgraded variant, the Goof Custom, was introduced after Dom had already entered full-scale production.
After
Other than being an
Zaku's,
overall
I love the
improved
Goofs
version of
as
the
well.
regular Goof, it also featured a complete redesign of the weapons. The bulky heat rod now became a much longer electric wire with a magnetic grappling hook at its tip, allowing for much longer ranges and versatility in battle. The 5-fingered machine gun hand was now replaced with a regular hand, and a 3-barrel machine gun was mounted on the arm. This setup allowed for
that's a
much
cold
greater
upgrade.
ammo capacity and also increased compatibility with handheld weapons. The Goof Custom would be exclusively used by aces such as Norris Packard or Lou Rower, second in command of the Midnight Farrier Corps. Finally, we have the Ifrit. Designed as a high-performance close combat mobile suit, the Ifrit would suffer a similar fate as its main rival, the Goof. Only 8 units of the
Nice
deadly
suit, though.
Ifrit would be produced before it was decided to shift all production to the brand new
I'm not sure
Dom.
I've seen it in action
These
yet.
8 existing Ifrits were then distributed to various ace pilots who often customized them to their liking, making the Ifrit known as an ace unit rather than a cancelled mass production unit. The most famous and most radical customized unit was the exam-equipped Ifrit Custom piloted by Nimbus Sturzen.
That's a
double
cold
grenade launcher
colorway
was
for the
added
suit,
to
too.
each arm, the legs were fitted with extra thrusters, armor, and missile launchers, and the unit used 2 heat swords instead of just 1. However, the biggest change was undoubtedly the exam system, a system that allowed a pilot to perform on par with a new type.
Okay.
Other known custom
That's
units are
pretty
the
good,
Ifrit Noct and the Ifrit Schneid. So, if you were a pilot during the 1-year war, which one of these would you want to pilot? And if you think that I forgot about an important one, leave that down in the comments as well.
If I could pick 3 suits that I would pilot, you already know number 1 is the Zaku, number 2 is the Dom, and I think number 3 is the Ifrit.
Yeah, probably I'll go the same route, but I definitely want to be a part of Xeon. I'll be a part of Federation, so I'm gonna give me a gem and a our gun cannon. I use that.
But look though, if you're a part of the Federation, you can operate your favorite mobile suit, the Zaku.
Yeah, but I don't want to be defeated, so.
True. Same here. I want to live as well. But that does it for our reaction to this subscriber request. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section and let us know which of these mobile suits that you would operate. Also, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss a video from Wade and Wade Reacts.
And we're out of here.
Peace.